So before we started meeting, how maybe have some a little bit information.
Okay, welcome, thank you.
Thank you.
Associate. The first time I was introduced to Paradise Valley is by Ruth. Yeah, and also,
Jackie.
come on. Three of us went to the meeting in Crow Canyon Country Club. Yeah, okay. And I was very impressed. So I went to their community, went to their site in Fairfield. And Patty was very patient, spent almost 2 hours with me to explain their program, their facilities. And I thought, oh, this will be another choice for our senior society. That because a lot of us going to face the last phase of our golden age very quickly. So anyway, welcome.
For inviting us to come today. I understand Stone Ridge Creek did a presentation for you at some point, I don't know how long ago. Very beautiful community there in Pleasanton. But it's always good to look at what your options are. So yes, I've had an opportunity to meet several of you here, Jackie, Helme, Ruth, either at the community or through phone calls or at one of our presentations. So we would encourage you, what we really want you to do is to come see us. Right? And I hope you're all okay and comfortable with me taking my mask off during the presentation. Okay, just like to double check. Very good, and I'm gonna have to get used to this little bit of an echo, I think. Well, first of all, I want to introduce myself. I'm Patty Lucioni, as Michael mentioned, and Jaime. I brought with me today Emily Doran. She is also a sales coordinator at Paradise Valley Estates. We're at opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to time with the community. Paradise Valley Estates opened in November of '97. I started at the community in September of '96. So you can kind of figure that out. Emily started with us a couple of weeks ago. But she has been in the health care industry for a number of years. I think almost 10 years, is it, Emily? Herself. So she is familiar, with working with seniors and talking about their choices and options that they may have. So she has some good background there. But Paradise Valley Estates, I am looking forward to sharing a little bit of information about the community and entertaining a few of your questions. To start with, we'll open up with a little video.
Retirement changes everything. Gone are the obligations that compromised your interests. And life unfolds in beautiful and unexpected ways. Now you're free to explore the world, seek out new experiences, and revel in the vitality of every day. Paradise Valley Estates is a place you can make the most of this long-awaited opportunity. Trade the headaches and never-ending maintenance of home ownership for a curated life. One that leaves you free to focus on the activities, passions, and relationships that can make this time so joyful and fulfilling. Learn more about what life can be.
So just a little sneak peek of our campus. that was shot on our campus with residents, and all of those individuals, even the gentleman in the hockey gear, are residents. Yes, the gentleman is now almost 100 years old. He did give up hockey about 5 years ago. Decided maybe he needed to leave it up to the younger people. But Paradise Valley Estates is a life plan community. It actually I can't bring it to you, but I hope that gave you a little feel of it. A personal appointment is going to be so important for you as you kind of consider your options. We are open to visits. I know people are still concerned about perhaps the COVID protocols and that, but we are having guests come to the community, actually tour the community, meet residents, even have meals with our residents, and we can even do overnight stays as well. So as you are kind of testing out the waters of what might be a good fit for you, consider coming and looking at us. So let's take a little look at our agenda for today. So first of all, I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview of Paradise Valley Estates. We'll talk a little bit about that concept of life plan communities. How many of you are familiar with that? Couple hands. If I say,
A lot of people know Stone Ridge.
right? If you visited Stone Ridge, you've seen an example of that type of community. If I say continuing care retirement communities, does that ring kind of true with a few other people as a concept that you've potentially heard of for future choices? Well, we'll dive into that a little bit and get that cleared up for you. We will also show you a little bit about our homes and our amenities at Paradise Valley Estates, and even explore the next steps. So there's a beautiful photo of the community, an aerial. Shows you that we have a beautiful campus. We sit on actually 76 acres, which is a beautiful setting up against these foothills there in Fairfield, with some gorgeous views even down this way from some of our units. A couple of our units you can actually see Mount Diablo from, which is kind of exciting. But we reach for a higher standard at Paradise Valley Estates. It is something that we've always kind of aspired to. We're not the new kids on the block, as I mentioned. We opened in '97, so we've been there for a while. We do have 391 homes that sit on 76 acres. A lot of them are houses. That's a bit of a uniqueness about our community, is that we have houses, we have cottages, so you can continue to feel, have the lifestyle that you've been enjoying currently. But we also have other units that would allow you to have a variety of lifestyles with our villas and our apartments. We are a non-for-profit community, which is very important because that means we're mission-driven. We're looking out for our residents, providing the services to them. We're not in it for profits. We want to provide the best potential lifestyle for you. We were founded by retired military officers. I like to just go ahead and mention that because a lot of people are familiar with that aspect. But we do serve all individuals who are interested, and that background has actually, or history, has provided a nice kind of foundation for us to build on and actually provide a wonderful lifestyle. We have created a very positive and unique community here and culture within the community. It's where you can actually experience all the things that you haven't had time for maybe, or things that maybe you thought you might like to try, or things that you were interested in at one point in your lifetime but didn't have the time to visit or revisit again. You can have that opportunity there. So this is a shot of our new neighborhood. We've actually expanded a little bit at Paradise Valley to include a section that incorporates 70 more units for the community, and you can see the beautiful sunrise over the particular part of the campus here for that new neighborhood. It opened in September, late September, which allowed us to provide the lifestyle to a lot more individuals. We were also able to add some more community spaces to expand on our residents' lifestyle and interest. We actually have well over 50 people living on this section of our property now, but we still have some wonderful opportunities. So let's get into a little bit about the community, the amenities we offer to make your life comfortable. This is actually our fire pit. This is one of the new amenities that we added. But when you look at that kind of list, and that's just kind of a short list of some of the amenities. One key thing, we are a gated community. We actually have security on our campus 24/7. All visitors are screened, which has been very helpful during COVID for us to be able to, contain that virus and not allow it to expose our residents to potential health issues. We are also have a full fitness program. One of our key parts of that is our powerhouse. And well over 75% of our residents do participate in our fitness program, and the Powerhouse offers a really nice feature with computerized equipment there. We also have the formal, casual, outdoor dining styles and options for the residents. A few of those are some newer features. We have a beautiful learning center. So it's a space kind of on the idea of what you have here, all right, where you can have these larger gatherings, but I noticed that you have the capability of making it into some smaller spaces as well. So we do presentations sometimes within that space, and it might be an opportunity for you to come see the community through one of those types of presentations. But then our residents can also enjoy some of their activities. So the smaller spaces, maybe our creative writing group could be meeting in one area. Maybe the resident finance group could be meeting in the other area with our CFO to review the monthly financial statements. So our residents get very involved in the community as well, and we seek out their input. So you're enjoying life, but you're also being a key part of the community. We have a community garden. Our residents are raising some wonderful vegetables there, some herbs, and a few flowers here and there too, which is what I like. And our whole grounds are just beautifully landscaped. You kind of got that feeling from the video of those landscaped grounds with all of the nice aerial shots and different activities some of our residents were enjoying. So there is time for fun, and we do have fun there. This is just a few shots of some of the different activities. So bocce is huge at our community. I'm not sure, how many of you play bocce? Well, I'll tell you. You can come to Paradise Valley Estates and learn how to play bocce. It's pretty easy, you just roll a ball. But even some of our residents who have mobility issues, I love to watch them out there, still rolling the ball. And it is kind of a bit competitive. Yeah. We have a league, 20-some teams. They have names, uniforms, all of that, and have a really great time with playing bocce. So an activity you can look forward to maybe pursuing. Pickleball. Are there pickleball players in the room today? So, and tennis.
Tennis players. Yeah.
Tennis players, okay, excellent. We have a tennis court, but we also have a group that play pickleball on that. I've had somebody tell me that that's like tennis light, so you don't have to run around as much on the court, I guess. Yeah. And then down here in the lower, it would be your lower left corner, is one of our gentlemen on our putting green. So our residents do enjoy that activity as well. We are next door to a golf course, however, that's not part of the community, just so you're aware of that fact. But we do have a lot of golfers. And talking about competition, yeah, they do a monthly putting tournament too, okay, just so you know. But you can get out there and practice whenever you want. So there is lots of fun, and there's a lot of other activities, but just a few shots of some of them. Pets. They're a key part of all of our lives, and including our residents. I'm sure that some of you do have your pets, your dogs, your cats, that you enjoy. They are great companions, and we are pet friendly. Right? In fact, we actually developed that lovely little logo there over by Tamoxie in our dog park, admiring the beautiful red fire hydrant. That little heart with the paw in the center is kind of the logo that we use on our materials to show our pet-friendly aspect of the community. And a number of our residents do some volunteer work. I believe the foundation here, Animal Rescue Foundation, that's in the photograph with one of our residents in the lower right, I believe that's actually down here in Martinez. She lived in Martinez, and she still comes across the bridge and volunteers for that program. So our residents get very involved both in the local area, but also in the greater area with their interest. Services. So we talked about all the fun things, maybe things you can try out, all of that. But, okay, what about that dreaded house stuff? Okay? I'm sure most of you are still in your homes, maybe have been there for quite some years. How many of you have been in your home at least 20 years? Okay. Is there people that have been in their homes more than 30 years? Oh, there's up, okay. Let's try for 40. Okay, there's a couple of you. And I know what I'm going to hear from at least from it was like 3 of you that raised your hands for 40 years. I have a lot of stuff. I understand. We can help you with that, though. So talk to us, okay? But do you really love having to make certain that the gutters get cleaned out, the windows get washed? What happens when that dishwasher, oops, there's water all over the kitchen floor. What do I do? Or the garbage disposal isn't working. I'm sure you just all love taking care of those things, right?
Water heater is not working.
Oops, water heater, yep, that's not a fun one. Or even that yard work. I am not a lover of gardening, so, you know, this is something that I would love. So just to kind of highlight some of the services that we take care of for you are some of those things I mentioned, all right? We do all the yard work. We do all the maintenance, upkeep, repairs on everything outside your home, but inside your home as well. So that water heater, you just pick up the phone, you call our work order desk. One of our gentlemen come over and check it out and say, we'll be back later this afternoon, sir, with a new hot water tank for you. That's it. Didn't cost you a dime. Time-wise, it took you, 5 minutes to make that phone call, and you have it all taken care of. We do cover all your utilities, so you're not even having to worry about writing the check to the CPG&E, the water company, the garbage company, all of those different people, because we're going to cover all of that for you, including cable TV. And we do have a nice discounted rate for internet, too, for all of those of you who are techies. And it looks like there's a lot of you that are here. So all of that is included. We even have transportation. Jaime asked me about, visiting the community and said, some of our members, don't like to drive on the freeway maybe or drive very far. Can we potentially maybe come and pick you up with a bus or something and bring you up for a visit? Yes, we have vehicles. to do that. So if that's a way that some of you want to come see the community as a group, we can do that. I do like personal individual appointments, and I know Emily does too, so that we can get to know you on an individual basis and get those specific questions about your circumstances answered. But transportation to some of those things that might be presenting a difficulty for you right now, shopping, personal appointments, those doctor appointments, things like that, we also can cover for you. All right? So let's kind of get into a little bit more of the serious aspect of this. And this is where I'm going to talk with you a little bit more about the life plan concept, or for those of you who may have heard it just mentioned as continuing care. And you'll kind of gather that from the description here a little bit as I kind of walk you through it. It is one of the most important reasons why individuals look into this type of community. We are a type A life plan community. That's very important. So we fill your needs and lifestyle, but we also offer security for the future to you. You have a plan in place, is what it is. That's the terminology, life plan. What that means, that in addition to a great, wonderful lifestyle that I've been kind of talking about, we also provide you with assisted living, memory care, and nursing care, and all are offered right on our campus. And even better, the cost for that care is not going to increase with your needs. That's the key thing there. Our residents and our families really appreciate the security of knowing that future needs can be met and costs are predictable. We are the most inclusive, we have the most inclusive financial program. We are protect you from the high cost of care. I don't know how many of you have had perhaps some family members or a spouse even that you've had to potentially have them have nursing care, whether it's care in the home or whether it's maybe at another facility. It can get costly very quickly. And we also provide a host of services and amenities that support your successful aging. We really want you to remain in your independent home as long as possible, and we have the ability to help you with that. So it gives you a peace of mind, is what it does. So a little bit more of the nuts and bolts here. It's a life plan community. There are 2 fees involved, okay? And for those of you who visited or are familiar with Stone Ridge Creek, you probably heard that mentioned before. So first of all, you're going to have an entrance fee. It's kind of likening it to a membership fee, I think is a good way to describe it, that actually gives you a couple of assurances. There are 3 actually. It's going to assure you of a residence to live in, okay?
Can I just stop? Enhanced assisted living versus assisted living, what's the difference?
That's a good catch. Yeah. So at Paradise Valley Estates, we not only provide you with things that you're familiar with, the assisted living, the skilled nursing, the memory care, that's all familiar, correct? And kind of understand what those are. Well, this is enhanced assisted living in Willow Creek is actually a little bit of a gap filler, I guess is a good way to describe it. Concept that we felt actually gave our residents much better support in their lives. So our Quail Creek assisted living is 1-bedroom apartments. It's the social model, all right? Those residents are just kind of starting to have a little difficulty, so this is a much safer environment for them than in their independent units. And they're doing well, enjoying the activities there, but then they start to have a few more issues. Maybe it's getting a little harder for them to get down for meals because it is a three-story building, so there's an elevator, you know. Getting down is a little tougher maybe, or you're having a little more difficulty and need more help with maybe beyond the bathing and the dressing. A little more medication management, those types of things. So it's a little more of a struggle in Quail Creek, and you're not enjoying as many of those social things as you had been. Well, but you're not at the point where you need skilled nursing. You know, you don't need help in and out of bed, those types of things. So Willow Creek kind of fills that gap for you. It puts you in an area where you have a little more support from staff. So for those additional needs that you may have, those activities of daily living is what we're talking about, actually. So you're getting the help you need there, and they have a nice special dedicated activities and social program for that specific area. So it's kind of helping you to continue to age gracefully and yet provide you with a safe, secure lifestyle.
Not advanced to skilled nursing.
Right, doesn't take you straight into skilled nursing. You've got a good question. Yes.
Is Willow Creek still within your community, or this is outside, separate?
All of this is within our community. Yep, right on our campus. So, yeah, when you come, we'll show you where it all, it's very centrally located too, which is really nice. Because there are times when one spouse maybe needs care, but the other spouse doesn't need as much care. But you're still all within the same community. It's easy to visit, maybe enjoy meals together, do a few activities together, but both of you are still having good quality of life and enjoyable life activities to participate in, okay? But thank you for asking about that. I appreciate it. All right, so kind of back to a little bit more about, yes, and I mean, was pointing out there is a site map in your packet that if you look closely, you can see the different locations for the space or where our care levels are. It's all very central. It's all very central here in the middle of the campus, okay? So Emily can hold it up. So yes, my Vanna White here, thank you for coming. But yes, these areas right here are where the assisted living, skilled nursing, and memory care are. Okay? But they also provide some of the residents easy access who are maybe in Quail Creek to still continue to participate in some of the fitness classes even, maybe go to some of the social activities, that type of thing. Okay, so back to where we were with the fees. I know this is kind of the boring stuff, maybe. I don't know. The dry stuff? Maybe that's the way to put it. So I had mentioned that there were two fees. The first fee is that entrance fee or membership fee. It's got the Leaning Tower fees up here. So that is going to give you access to the community, and I think I was mentioning that it assures you of three things. It assures you of a residence to live in, the services, but also the care that you need, right? So it really does support your life. The entrance fees are based on the size of the unit and are paid at the time that you sign the contract at move-in. Okay? There are multiple choices or options when it comes to the entrance fee. We do have a refundable program, but we also have other choices that can provide you with some planned refunds, if that's what you financially want to do. The monthly service fee, that's the second one, is also based on the size of the unit. This is going to provide you with all the services and amenities that we've been talking about. All the fun stuff, you know, including, you know, taking care of your house. To me, that's a fun thing. If somebody came and, you know, was doing all that for me, yeah. So our community is actually the best life, long-term care insurance policy you could have. It's kind of like on steroids, okay? Because you know exactly where you're going to receive your care. You know exactly what it's going to cost you. Okay? All right. So now that we've kind of had that weighty information, and I know you're all kind of going, okay, is she going to talk about the cost? Is she going to talk about the cost? I will. Thank you. But first I want to show you kind of a little bit of information about the type of units that you have the opportunity to choose from for living in. We do have, as I noted before, houses. In fact, over half of our inventory is houses. There are 7 different style of floor plans. They range from 1,300 square feet to over 2,000 square feet. And they all have garages for the gentlemen. That's usually always a question they have. Then we also have a wide variety of apartments or villa-life units. There's actually 16 floor plan styles within this grouping. These are in multi-story buildings, and the sizes of those units range from 800 square feet to over 2,000 square feet. So there's still some really nice, impressive, large units there to enjoy as well. They all have balconies or patios, depending on their location, and parking is either a covered carport or under building parking. Here's a couple interior shots. Our finishes, we do try to maintain kind of current, up-to-date, modern finishes that would attract individuals and make their home enjoyable. So this is from a couple of our staged models, but you can see in the kitchen we have current appliances, the stone countertops, cabinetry, and all of that. You do also have the ability, and I will re-mention this, to do a little bit of customizing in your own personal home as well, for those of you who may like some special features. And then give you a couple shots of some of our community spaces. This is one of our dining areas. It's the newest one that opened in September. This is the learning center I was mentioning. All right. We have the TVs and all of that too, with all the latest technology. And then we have an amenities building. This, the corner there that you're looking at, that part of the building, is one of our dining venues as well. It's one of our casual ones. It's called the cafe. Breakfast and lunch, we have a wide variety. Or you can just go in there and get a milkshake if that's all you want to do. One of these warm, hot days. Then just an outside shot of the cottages. There's the villas. Give you another angle of those. This is actually on the new section of our property. We have a pretty little creek walk running down between the buildings there. So, kind of next steps. Of course, come for a visit, all right? Come see us. The community is beautiful. People really enjoy the spaces they see, the nice floor plans and all of that. So that would be kind of an important thing. We do have availability, and that's always a question I get. Do you have availability or your wait list? We have some wonderful availability and options right now for those individuals who are looking. And all it takes is a small deposit to reserve a unit and go through the approval process, because you do need to be approved physically and financially. The deposit is completely refundable, all right? We don't keep a dime if you just decide you don't want to come or if you weren't qualified. I know, remember I mentioned a little bit earlier, you can do some customizing in your home. Maybe that paint color you love so much in your current home, we can put it in your new home. Maybe you want to have plantation shutters on your windows, those types of things. But the easiest way to do this and find out more details is to talk to Emily or myself, come for that visit, all right? Now, this is the burning question. Some of you, I think, have probably already, yes, I knew it, pulled out that entrance fee. When you get your hands on that packet, that's usually the first thing everyone goes for. What's the cost? What's the cost? So for those of you who have not picked up a packet, they are back there on the ping pong tables. But this is the range. Remember that entrance fee was the one I mentioned, the upfront buy-in, like the membership fee. And remember our unit sizes range from 800 square feet to over 2,000. Okay, and there's 23 different floor plan styles. So we can find something that would, fit your lifestyle, I know. But the range starts at $249,000 and goes up to $656,000.
For villa,
Well, that could be some of our villas, but it could also be some of our houses. Okay? And the second person, ladies, it's only going to cost your husband $42,000 to bring you. Okay? Yeah, that's a deal. It is, gentlemen, it's a deal. Okay, the monthly fee. Remember, this was the fee that covers all of those amenities and services and all of that we were kind of outlining. Those utilities, the upkeep on your home, access to all of the fitness classes and facilities and all the wonderful things that go on in our community. And I didn't even know the fact that with the population of residents we have there, we have close to 50 different groups and clubs. So, and we're always looking to add more if there's something that we don't have going on already that interests you. But the range here starts at $3,677 at the lower end, and at the upper end, we're talking those big 2,000 square foot units, that's $6,758. Okay? That's most of your monthly living expenses. Then the second person currently is $1,641 for that second person. Okay? All right. So, we talked about the fun stuff. We talked a little bit about how the community looks and got into the nuts and bolts. The fact that we are a non-for-profit. Our inventory is made up of a lot of houses and cottages, which is a bit unusual when you're looking at a life plan community. We kind of got into a few more details about what the community can offer to you through our long-term care, but also through the independent lifestyle as well. So I'd like to open it up to some questions, if anyone has any. Yes.
Yeah, about your monthly payment, how often you raise up the cost of living, every year?
Very good question. So it was about the monthly service fee and how often it's raised, because, well, we all logically realize that it probably will increase. In our own homes, we know that the utilities go up, the food costs go up. That's been amazing me for the past 2 years, how fast that's climbing. Gas prices, all of those things. So it's a very good question. And we usually have an annual increase. I will share with you, one year we didn't increase it. That was a while ago though, sorry. But yes. So I know what the next question is going to be. So how much is it, right? Yeah, okay. So our history up until the last couple of years, when we've all kind of seen a little more of an impact on our budgets, our history has been between 3 and 4%. We've had a few below the 3%, okay? But that's been the general range. The last couple of years, though, I will say that the cost has been a little bit over that 4% marker, okay? Yes. Oh, I'll get you in a second, Jackie. So.
That's okay, go ahead.
How far from your place to this church? We have people live there, but I want to come from you. Under normal traffic condition.
All right, so we came down this morning. We left Paradise Valley a little before 9, and we were here by 9:30, so it took us
About
under
30
40, yeah, under 40, so, yeah.
Okay, so it's the same thing like that, we plan.
Right. When I checked earlier this morning, because I was keeping an eye on traffic conditions, at one point it did say, let's see, it was normally 38, but one point it said it was going to take 48 minutes. So yes, but we all know the Bay Area. You just got to time things right, and we were able to kind of miss that heavy commute hour. So yeah, but good question, Jackie.
I have two questions. The first question is that you were saying that you can customize with your needs to paint the inside the house, the apartment, so forth. Now, for some reason, right in the middle of decided want to move out, do we have to recover it to original basic what you have? The paint, the flow, everything.
Okay, so let me see if I've got your question right. So you're talking about
If we move in, okay,
Mhm,
and then you would like to change the color of the paint,
mhm.
and then maybe 3-4 years after we decide what we have to move out. Do we have to recover it? The
So,
paint?
I want to be certain I'm understanding, so you're asking about customization you would do to your personal home, like painting, it's a good example. And if you left 3 or 4 years later, I want to be certain, are you asking, would you get the cost back, or are you asking
No.
me if you have to
Do we
pay to
have
have it repainted to the
Yeah,
standard?
repainted.
Okay, I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
All right, so now that we kind of got that, unless you chose a color that's really hard to cover, no. I mean, in the example that we're using. But if you decided that you wanted to paint your bedroom dark blue, maybe, then we might have to charge you a little bit to have it repainted, because the coverage would be more than just a standard. But no, in this example, you do not have to bring it back to standard, if that's kind of what, I think that's what we're talking about. And a lot of the things that our residents do to customize their home are actually benefits to the community and for the next person that's gonna live there. A really good example would be maybe closet organizers. You know, there is a standard in the closets where we have a couple of shelves and a rod for hanging. But some people like to bring in a company to do those really nice organizers with adjustable shelves and drawers and all of that. In those situations, that you would not have to have it taken out, because that's a benefit to the community, okay? But there are those examples like that purple bedroom, or the dark navy bedroom, I guess is what I said, dark blue. I was thinking purple in my head.
My second question is
Yes.
this. It happened to be one of my friends. She is in terminal year, and then she has a house. She didn't live in a community like that, and then the doctor, the hospital, usually they send it to hospice. Now they don't have that kind of facility now, so you go home to end your life. Now, if we live in this kind of community, and we end up to have a terminal ill, so there's a hospice, then where are we going to go? Can we go back there or no?
Yes, okay, so the question is about in the life care, hospice, all of that, if you can have it at our community. Yes, you can.
Oh.
Mhm. Yes,
Okay.
hospice could come in to support. So we'll go over here and then we'll go over there. Try to keep track of who's next. Yes.
Now in Stone Ridge, they have a policy that once you put in the entrance fee, the first 5 years, every year they take out 5%. So after that, when they take out to 75%, then you stop there. So you have 75% of your original entrance. So then when you leave, suppose when you die or whatever you leave, you still have a 75% of your original deposit. Now, I wonder what the policy, or do you have this policy at Paradise Valley?
We do have options at Paradise Valley Estates that, yes, can provide you with an assured refund. Okay, we have 50% and 95%. Those are things that, you know, I can cover on an individual basis with you, you know, to review based on what your financial decision and planning is. But yes, we do have those options.
Or we can return 95%.
Yes, that is an option, up to 95%.
It's here, right?
Yes, that shows the premiums that would be applicable for one of those refund plans. And it is a true refund plan. That's the other thing that's good to know is that once the contract is terminated, whether it's through move out or through death, you're going to receive your refund within 14 business days and not based on resale, which is what is more common, okay? So I think I had a question over here.
Yeah, I
Yes.
have a question about like hospital facility. For example, like myself, I use the Jamil system. And Jamil, you know, is in Walnut Creek. It's a little bit far from Fairfield. So in this case, if I want to have see the doctor or go to the hospital, does the community have any help or assistance?
So it's a question about hospitals, and I'm sure a lot of you probably do use John Muir. And when I mentioned that we include transportation and I mentioned those personal appointments, that is for doctor's appointments, typically, but it is within our local area that's included, all right? So if you wanted to remain with John Muir down here, then it would be, you could arrange for transportation, but there would be a cost for it because it's outside of our local area, okay? Yeah.
Is Kaiser any better around there or?
Kaiser, that's a question, and I'm sure that you're all either John Muir or Kaiser, I'm guessing. Yes. Kaiser is in our local area. It is.
Where is the Kaiser?
So Kaiser, yes, Kaiser has a clinic right in Fairfield, but they have a hospital, medical center, all of that in Vacaville. In fact, it's probably only, because we sit on the edge of Fairfield toward Vacaville. Yeah, the foothills behind us, if you kind of notice them in the videos, just over that foothill is Vacaville. So the hospital in Vacaville, I'm thinking is probably about 7 miles away. And that is included in our local for transportation, okay? So I think, yes, I had seen your hand earlier and then I'll come to a couple over here. Go ahead.
One big hassle is once you move in, you have to look for your new doctor. We don't have Kaiser, so are there many good doctors around?
They're all good.
Oh, good.
And second question is, do you ask any mental or physical qualification to move in?
Okay, so the first question is back to the medical part of it. If you're not Kaiser, what other would be available and that in the local area? Yes, we do have, the Sutter system is in the area. Sutter, yes. And then in Fairfield is a nice and really well-respected smaller type of hospital. It's called North Bay Medical Center and Hospital. It's got excellent ratings, so that would be an option. I usually recommend that you as new residents of the community, you can talk to our staff. We can't recommend a doctor to you, okay? We can tell you about the facilities, you know, that type of thing. But talking to residents is a good way to go, all right? Finding out what they use. And one other little thing about Paradise Valley Estates, we actually have a partnership with North Bay Medical Center, which means that 2 of their physicians hold clinic hours on our campus. Yeah, so it's really nice. And we, like I said, we can't recommend them, but it's a convenience for our residents. And we felt that that was an important feature to have for the residents. So 2 of their physicians actually do come a couple days a week to the community. We have nice clinic rooms for them. You still make your appointments with the doctor's office. Your insurance covers all of that. It's just that convenience, okay? So I think you'll find that there's a lot of excellent doctors in the area. Yeah. Oh, that's right, thank you. I knew there was something else. Your second question. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you. I put my fingers down. That's the way I track questions in my brain. I know I have to answer for somebody. And I put my 2 fingers down and it went totally out. No, it was a senior moment was what it was. So the second question about qualifying for the community. So I mentioned the financial, all right? So we want to be certain that you can afford to live there, but I think your question more focused on the physical qualifying.
Mental, cognitive.
Cognitive, yeah. So you do go through an assessment. You fill out a self-assessment, some questions about your own personal health, and then your doctor, there's a form that you give to him. It's actually a state form, state required form for this our type of a community. And they tell us about your medical conditions, your diagnosis, how you manage them, all of those types of things. And then we have you come in for an interview with one of our staff. And that's just a very general question and answer type of thing based on what you shared with us in the self-assessment as well as what your doctor provided for us. So there is a mini mental test, yes. Mild cognitive impairment is not going to disqualify you. We all have that. I just had a good demonstration of it, right?
If you have early symptom of Parkinson, would that be allowed to move in?
There again, we would be looking at your doctor's report to see how you manage that, but no, it's not a prohibitive condition, okay? All right. So let's see, we're back over here. Yes.
Okay, I'm on the entrance fee refund option.
Yes.
You say for the plan 50 or plan 95, you add 30%, add 90%. What does that mean? Does that mean if you don't have the option, the original entrance fee will not be refunded? What do you mean this option?
Okay.
No option.
So it's a question about the refund plans. And I was.
If I take the plan 95, and then you say you add the 90%.
Right.
What does that mean?
Okay, so yes, there is the fee schedule lists the entrance fee for Plan 0. All right, that's the basic traditional plan. The least expensive way to come into the community is maybe another way to look at it, and get the contract with all the benefits that you're looking for. If you want to do one of the refund options, you actually would add a premium to that base entrance fee. So as an example, if the entrance fee was $100,000, I'm doing this because it's easy math for me, okay? Not trying to mislead you. If you want to participate in Plan 50, you would add a 30% premium to that. So it would be $130,000, but you would be assured 50% of it back, of that total amount. Does that make any sense?
Regardless how long you stay.
Exactly, exactly. And Plan 95, if you want.
Wait a second. If I don't take any option, so the original entrance fee
Will not be
the
refunded.
base.
will be no refund.
Well, if in the first 53 months of residency, there would be a refund of a portion of it. But once you hit the end of the 50-month amortization period of 2% each month on the 3-month cancellation period, which is at the beginning actually, okay? Then going forward from there, you are correct, there would be no refund, okay? But you still have the contract with us for the assurance of the long-term care and at that reduced rate, inclusive rate, okay? So I think time-wise, how are we doing?
Just a quick
So I think I've got like maybe two questions. Okay. So go ahead.
Like the 30% add-on premium and the 50% refund, is that based on the add-on or total?
It is the total. So in the little example I was starting to use, it's based on the 130,000 that you paid. Correct. So it'd be 50% of that total. Yeah, you got it. All right, and I think, so maybe we'll try to just connect these two questions. So,
yeah, you have a list different design of houses or apartments, and I want to know that this monthly service fee. This one doesn't tell me if assisted living or with a memory care. Are those extra costs, or how can I tell this covers everything or not?
yeah. So it does. Remember I said that the cost is inclusive for
So
the
which
care.
one is assisted? Which
That
one
is-
is nursing home?
That is for independent living because it's based on the size of the unit, right? So when you need care, the only cost, and I didn't even mention this as part of the services, that actually the monthly fee covers some meals, right? Not all the meals, but some of the meals. Each resident gets 30 meals a month as covered in the monthly fee. So when you go into care, your only additional cost is going to be for additional meals. And that's it. Okay, so when you need to go to assisted, skilled, or memory, it's just additional meals.
Same as Stone Ridge.
And then, final question over here.
Go back to that option, 95%.
Okay,
How many percent need to be added to the premium?
so for a 95% refund, you need to add 90%. So yeah, in our little example, that makes $190,000,
So regardless how long you stay.
regardless of how long you stay. Yeah, exactly. All right. All good questions, but each of you have your own personal circumstances too. And, you know, those one-on-one appointments can actually help us dive into them a little more in detail, talk a little bit more about your finances, what your plans are for the future that way, but also, as far as your health and being able to take care of that. Yes.
Yeah, question. If a couple, one with dementia in the memory care, and the other one is okay, so do they have to live in a separate facility, or they still can stay together?
Okay, so the question is about if one couple needs more advanced care than the other. Okay. We like to try to keep couples together as long as we can. However, there does come a point where it's not necessarily always going to be safe or the healthiest situation. Because the spouse that doesn't need the care is doing a lot of support for their spouse who does. That's not a good quality of life for you, for that spouse. When it can go just right on campus to another area where that spouse, and you use the example of memory care, can actually participate in a wonderful program that is going to support them and provide a better quality of life for them. The spouse who's still an independent is going to also be able to enjoy a better quality of life, but still be able to visit their spouse very easily right there on campus.
But in that case, this couple needs two houses. Right?
2 locations on campus.
2 locations, or need to pay 2 locations, right?
The only, as I mentioned over here to this gentleman, the only additional cost in this situation is going to be those meals. That's it. For that care for the spouse who needs memory care, which is right now $36 a day, to put an actual dollar amount on that to kind of equate it. So I know that there's a bit of a time limit. Are we okay or not? Or I mean, I have a couple more questions, and I just have like a 90-second video I wanted to share. You tell me.
One more question.
One more question.
One more question. And I guess we've decided it's going to be from over here. Okay.
Can you arrange the tour, 1 or 2 days tour over there?
Yes. So visit, yes. Can we do more than 1 or 2 days? Yes, we have guest rooms. And we love to have you come and spend a little time with us, get to know some of our residents, maybe even participate in some of the activities and enjoy some of our meals. For sure. Just call us. And there's no cost for that.
Staying over.
All right? Have a little mini vacation on us. Did that get everybody's attention? Okay. Thank you all so much. I do have one other short little video I think you will enjoy about our community, and then we'll wrap it up.
Being close to wine country is a real benefit. There's a lot of folks here that are very interested in taking time to go up to the Napa region or Sonoma or even locally here in Fairfield.
Wherever you go, people are always stopping and talking and saying, I don't think I met you, or they invite us to dinner.
Many people think of food as nutrition, and that's probably not the mark we're trying to hit. It's socialization. When you think about it in any culture, name a culture that doesn't celebrate with food.
I'd say the hardest thing here, the biggest exercise is pushing away from the dining table and not indulging in everything that, and I tell myself, this food will come around again. You're gonna live here a few years, so you don't have to eat everything the first time you see it or hear it.
But to try anyhow.
You can have a good time, and we can laugh our heads off sitting in the club sometimes over a conversation.
These people are a lot of fun.
Good sense of humor, and tease a lot.
They just have personality. I think that's one of the things that makes it so great.
People here are always willing to help, offering to help, coming up and introducing themselves. It's just more friendly than most of the places I've ever lived.
The moment we came here, we felt like we were home. We felt like this was a good fit for us. And the more we talk to the residents here, we know it is. And so we can hardly wait to come.
All right, thank you. So hopefully that did encourage you to come and visit us, all right? I look forward to seeing all of you. I do have a list here that if you want me to reach out to you to set an appointment, I would just ask for your name and telephone number, okay? But the packets that you all have my business card in it too for you to reach out to. Thank you.